Shopper came back when once again. He shut out the video. I'm not the only one who noticed that the Spider-Man web shooters in the Insomniac Spider-Man PS4 looks just like the pumpkin bombs from the Green Goblin. Exactly like it. Like without a shadow of a doubt, you can see it for yourself. And it acts the exact same. Just replace the web with the explosives, and it matches up 1-on-1. And for 8 years, Peter Parker have not encountered Green Goblin. Norman Osborn has just been Norman Osborn. Harry has just been Harry, and Mary Jane, and everything else. I can't recall if Gwen Stacy ever existed in the Insomniac universe. I can't recall anything that hints towards it at all, which is sad, since now, Gwen Stacy can never just be, a normal girl with her own life and dreams. You just go, well, she gotta have powers. That's the only way you can validate her existence. Alright then, whatever. But in this case, I always find that strange, unusual. For 8 years, Norman Osborn has just been, according to Peter, as a decent guy. Now, sure, throughout the story, we learned that Norman Osborn did the stuff he did to Mr. Negative, Martin Lee, one of the best characters in the game, easily, and he did what he did to Otto Osborn. Of course, Norman is not some type of innocent man, but in this case, it's not. In this case, continue the history of Peter Parker in the universe. He did used to work at the Daily Bugle. Fact. I think he did also used to work at the Pizza Joint. Fact. And he used to work at Oscorp back when Harry, or used to be, yeah, you think he used to be work at Oscorp, or like do something with Harry at Oscorp. And during this entire time, 8 years, with all that backstory, no Green Goblin. None. We've met Rhino, we've met Scorpion, we've met Electro, we've met the Vulture. Otto and Martin Lee shows up, but then again, the Lizard is confirmed to be canon, and I hope that in Spider-Man 2, that wasn't his first transformation look, and that's just the second one. And it was even worse. But, we got everybody besides from Norman. And I've always found it strange how the supposed Marty main villain of Spider-Man is never there, which is good and a bad thing. The good thing is we get some decent character variation, but the bad thing is, for a main villain, you rarely see him. He rarely plays a part in the story. Rarely. Very rarely. Even with Amazing Spider-Man 2, there was theories, even when Norman died, they could still bring him back as Ultimate Goblin, or like they're keeping his head alive somewhere, and is it going to lead into the Sinister Six, and things like that. Shout out to Seven Webheads. The good old days. Still love the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but I do find it strange. I do find it unusual. I do find it to be an unusual thing in this game, how the pumpkin bombs and the web bombs look exactly the same. Exactly. And it serves a similar purpose. Because even with the Ultimate, actually, no. The Ultimate Goblin, it was the Ultimate Spider-Man TV show Goblin who used pumpkin bombs. The Ultimate Spider-Man Goblin just had fire powers. So there was a difference. But it is a version where Ultimate Goblin did have pumpkin bombs, and that's just for the TV show. But, I don't know, it will be interesting that if, while Norman's becoming Green Goblin, that Peter ended up inspiring one of his most deadly, most vicious villains he ever known. That he took the ideas for the pumpkin bombs from him. Some like anti-gravity tech, or he used to put that into the, that gravity tech, he just used to put that into the glider. Just imagine that a guy knows you that well. Just imagine that instead of Peter Parker being inspired by Oscorp, it is Oscorp who's inspired by Peter Parker, and his quick Nicky conventions and how he slapped everything together. It'll be perfect. It'll be a brand new direction to attack Peter from what he's never done before. He doesn't just know everything you're gonna do. He's already seen it. He's studied you. He's researched everything you've done. He knows you like an open book. He knows all your gadgets. He knows how you make your first web shooters. He knows everything to a finite detail. And Peter will have to really step outside his box. Because we already seen everything you could do. He knows how you could take out the Rhino, the Scorpion. He knows how you could take out Martin Lee, or or Electro, or the Vulture, or Kingpin. We've seen the way Peter Parker has worked. Confirmed to have spider tracers. Confirmed to have the spider bots. We've seen it all. But just imagine if Norman can use all that to his advantage. Can attack and ruin Peter in ways that people have never seen before. Because we all know Norman Osborn eventually finds out about Peter Parker. And we already have the tease inside the Norman Osborn's apartment of some goblin gear. But then again, they can still go to Ultimate Spider-Man route. It's up to them. But in this case, it'll be something we've never seen before, the Goblin. before Goblin knew who Peter was, but he didn't have this much found out research on him where it's just like what we know everything, we know how we got him. It'd be just like when the Goblin went against Superior Spider-Man. Like he could read out of like an open book, he couldn't touch him. But as soon as Peter got his body back, it was a done deal. Well, huh? Wait, what? I gotta get out of here, man. I gotta get out of here. Yeah, you hang up with the little woman. I gotta get out of here. Ugh. He can't get too far though. But yeah, it'd be an interesting aspect if there was to go like that, because I don't think Norman's gonna have a big role in Spider-Man 2 on the PS5. I just don't personally see it. Because if he is Venom, then it's like what? He's Venom, and then there's what? These just like this. The Goblin stain still matters. We be able to turn himself into anti-Venom. Would he use that to incorporate himself into the Goblin? But it's just, But I always find it strange in this universe, in this game, that there's just been nothing. Just 8 years, no Green Goblin. The Sandman exists now. Sad that we don't get to see the Sandman too much either. I think he's only made an appearance in Spider-Man Friends and Foe, the movie game Spider-Man 3, and Ultimate Dimension. Not Ultimate. That's Shattered Dimensions. And that was pretty much it on that front. So, all right, I'm back. And it'd be an aspect like that. You'll be amazed. It'll be from an aspect and from a perspective that we've never seen before. Be able to attack him from all these different angles, and the fact that he already know how Peter's already advanced his suit, how he's upgraded and do those different type of things from Otto Octavius. Is just there's so much you can get from that. There's so much potential, especially throughout the story. Now they can't easily interweave Goblin throughout the entire. If there was a Spider-Man 3 on the PS6, because we already know it's gonna take him like a good half a decade, maybe a century, which is nothing against them. Now, because I just find it strange that God of War and Spider-Man was announced the exact same year, 2016, and 2 years later they both came out. But with the sequels, but then again, God of War, the North Side was supposed to be 3 games and it wasn't. And see, complications showed up. But I just find it odd. But overall, it would be one of the most interesting points they could go by with the Green Goblin itself. Being him, instead of Peter Parker, knowing about Norman Osborn, know about what the Oscorp and researchers too. Instead of Peter having the advantage of knowing Norman, it'll be Norman who have the advantage over Peter Parker. He's already seen Spider-Man for 8 years. We've already seen what his tech can do. We've already seen he's made friends. We've already seen his wins and losses. We've already seen it. It's like an open book. And I think the Goblin in that case would be something that Miles won't be able to deal with. Somebody said, well, you think you're strong enough? You already called him the Family Dollar Spider-Man. It's the fact that the Green Goblin is purely unique to Peter Parker from the way he attacks him. We've already seen with Otto Octavius how things can get out of hand real quick when it's somebody else. It's similar to like a Joker type thing, right? With Batman, like depending how the Joker feels that day, he could easily get the job done. It's done. But for any other person, like let's leave the Flash out of this. The Joker can push things to the extreme. And I don't think too many other superheroes can tolerate the Joker and not just put him out of his misery. But it's Batman should kill him. How come no one giving him the death penalty yet? How come we've never seen the trials of the Joker on death row? But never question the writers, never question nothing. Just keep blame and make fun of jokes and the memes. But overall, I think this would be an interesting aspect if Norman did get everything for Peter, the islands and everything, the get up. It'll be perfect. Oh, you don't gotta worry about money, Peter. I help you out. What happened to Harry? Oh, don't you worry about that now. Be an animal. What if he to create the Goblin Sham? He takes some of Spider-Man's blood and mutate it, boost it up on steroids, make a synthetic version of it, and just blam, just like that. Speed, agility, it's just like that in a bottle. We could sell this to Oscorp, but nah, let's sell a diluted version. Get into the pharmaceutical market. But for the real deal stuff, the pure one, oh boy, that stuff stays for me. But I don't know, it's an interesting aspect you can go from. Interesting different perspectives. But I gotta go. There's a wedding happening real quick. And it's been interesting, K. If you guys like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and peace. What do you think about the Goblin being inspired by Peter Parker?